Heidi ho YouTube, Major Cord here, and I fucking hate USB cables. Yup. These things make me want to drag and kick a baby. I've recently, as you can probably see, upgraded my camera. And I wouldn't exactly call it an upgrade so much as finding the goddamn USB cable that allows me to use a camera that I've owned for more than 2 years. This is in fact the camera that I shot my very first YouTube video with. So, I've had this for a very long time. I just haven't had the cable. And I've actually labeled this cable now. Yes, that way I can't lose it again. And there's actually a purpose to this video, and I'll get to that shortly, but I actually remember a time, and this probably dates me, at least in terms of technology, when every single electronic device that took a USB cable used an A connector. Like, I think I had some sort of, like, camera or music player or something that actually used a cable that had two A-style connectors on both ends. And it was wonderful, because every other cable I owned would work for that goddamn device. You know, this is my iPod connector. If I lose this, I'm screwed, because I only have one of these. This is the cable to my digital camera. I think this is like a mini A cable, I think. I don't know. This is the camera cable. This I think is a USB Mini B, I want to say. Yeah, I think I own like 4 of these, yet I can never find any of them. I don't know why. I have a theory that the same little goblin creature that steals all my left socks out of the dryer actually steals these. And he just has a pile of them in his little lair, and he smirks at me every time I need to find one. This goes to my cell phone. This is actually a Micro B. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they felt the need to come up with this, but I think I own 2 or 3 of these too, and I can never find any of these. I actually keep this always plugged into the wall, that way I know I have it, but it doesn't go with any other device. I just own a bunch of them. I don't know why. I have no idea where they came from. I can't remember owning any other device that actually used one, but I own a bunch of them. I can never find them, but I own them. I know for a fact that I do. Yeah. So I hate USB cables. They are the devil's work. But now that I have this wonderful, I think high-definition camera, let's get down to the review here. Oh, that's not even in frame. You're looking at a Victorinox Classic. And this is not what I'm actually going to be reviewing. But it actually does lead into the review quite well. Ooh, look. Macro. Real macro. You can get really close to it, and you can see that it's dirty and scratched and just all around nasty. But this lives on my keychain. It's a wonderful little multi-tool. I don't consider this a knife. This is, in fact, a multi-tool. I mean, it has a knife blade, and I do keep it sharp, but it seldom ever gets used. In fact, my most used tool on this is the nail file, which also happens to have a screwdriver. Or, the only other real tool on here, which is the scissors. This is a very accessible tool to many people. I mean, first off, it's a Swiss Army knife. Secondly, it's so small and harmless looking that no one would ever think, to consider it threatening. The problem is, this thing costs $10, so if you're thinking of gifting it to someone, at least in my opinion, most of the people I would think of giving this to, who might be in need of a knife, or who I would really like to see carry this on their keys, they'd probably end up losing it. They're going to run this through airport security, or they're going to throw it out. I actually knew someone who threw out their car keys once. I don't know how the hell they managed to do that, but they did. So, personally, I'm not going to go spend $10 on that person if they're going to throw it out. However, I recently discovered on Smokey Mountain Knife Works a very good alternative produced by Rough Rider. And if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know that I am a fan of Rough Rider's products, and this is no different. This is the Rough Rider, I believe they call it the Swiss-style pocket knife, or utility knife, or something like that. It'll be in the title, so you probably already read it. And this is in the blue aluminum-handled version, and it's basically the same exact thing. The only difference is that the Victorinox Classic retails for about $10, depending on where you find it. This is $1. I think when I bought it 2 months ago, this was $1.49 on Smokey Mountain Knife Works. Now they actually have it on clearance for 99 cents. And even at $1.50, it's a good value. 99 cents, this is a steal. So really, it's the same exact tool. The only real difference being in the... Oh, if I can get it out. The file here. This is the classic SD, so it has a screwdriver tip, and this one doesn't. But other than that, they're identical. Well, almost identical. I will get into the differences now, because that's what I do here. Personally, I mean, I think this is a gorgeous knife tool. It's a multi-tool. It's not really a knife. But you know that I like anything in blue. I mean, I have my blue Endura, my blue UK PK. This is a sexy little tool. This shade of blue, which you're getting a ton of glare from my overhead light here, but it's really gorgeous. It's just, if I owned other knives, if I owned other, it's my Buffalo accent really coming out. I've only been awake for like 30 minutes, so excuse that. If I owned other knives in this color, I think I'd really enjoy it. There's some, it's like pressed out holes here. They don't offer any texturing, and you really don't need it on something this small. But you got your standard knife blade, and something I do want to say is that the back spring on this is really strong. Like, that's really a strong back spring. It's actually a heck of a lot stronger than the Victorinox offers. Like, this one, you know, it snaps into place and it's secure, but this one is stronger than a lot of larger slip joints I own. So, there's that. But the knife blades are the same size and shape. They are virtually identical. This one doesn't take as keen of an edge because it's obviously a lower quality steel. Probably the same 440 that Rough Rider uses on everything else. But they do have their logo emblazoned on there. I'm not exactly sure the model number. It's probably... Oh, there it is. Rough Rider 842. Made in China, of course. But it takes a decent enough edge for utility work. You're not going to be slicing phone book paper, but anything you're going to need to slice with a keychain knife you can do. Strong back springs, as I said. The file is actually double-sided, unlike the Victorinox file. So you have some texturing on this side, and some nice, pretty aggressive, actually, texturing on this side, which compared to the classic file, you can see this is more like a classic wood file, actually, as opposed to a nail file. But then you have this on this side, which is more like the nail file. So I guess it's actually billing itself to be more of an actual tool than a cosmetic device, but either way, it's effective and it works for doing your nails. One thing that I actually do like about this Rough Rider, as opposed to the Victorinox, is the location of the key swivel, or key ring. The Victorinox has it right up by the pivot of the knife, which when you have it attached to your keys means that the bulk of your keys is going to be up here, and that just makes it kind of awkward to cut things with. I mean, I don't take it off of my keys when I cut, if I have to use this. The Rough Rider actually does have it attached to the bottom, so that your keys are down here, and the knife is just hanging straight off. And I do appreciate that a lot. That's a very big improvement in the design, in my opinion. So, I mean, right there, for 1/10 the cost, you already have a huge improvement in the design, which, I don't know, I think that's quite innovative. Another improvement is actually the scissors. I mean, Victorinox scissors are really... That's the knife. Good job, Major Cord. Victorinox scissors, you know, they're the classic scissors. They're really good. But one weak point, if you own these, you'll know the spring has a tendency to wear out and eventually just die on you. And you can get replacement springs very cheap. But it's your standard leaf spring. And mine's actually starting to get worn out. But these scissors actually have a spring that's more like the Leatherman spring. You can't see it from this side, but you'll notice here the spring is an integral piece of the this side of the scissor. So at least it looks a lot less likely to get worn out and need replacement. Not that I'd have any idea where you could buy a replacement spring for this, but it looks a heck of a lot more sturdy. And these scissors are sharp. At least mine came sharp. Because this is an overseas produced knife and it is cheap, I'm not exactly sure of the overall quality control, but this specimen does have really good... it shows a really good example of quality control. So, the only thing you're missing on this, obviously, since it's not a plastic scaled knife, are the tweezers and toothpick. And I'm actually missing my tweezers on my Classic, so I gotta buy a replacement of those. But just like if you were to buy an Alox handled Victorinox Classic, you wouldn't get that in that knife. So, really you could think of this as a almost a knockoff Alox scaled Victorinox Classic for about 1/20th the price. And for that, I really think it's very nice. Even as a replacement for a normal Classic. I mean, when you look at what you're getting a knife that, it doesn't come sharp, so I did need to sharpen it, but it takes, you know, a decent edge. You get a file that works. You don't get the screwdriver tip, but again, you can get variations of the Classic that don't have that. And you get scissors that really do work. Plus you get an improved keyring mount, which I really do like. And you get some interesting colors of this. I think it comes in silver aluminum handles, you get red, you get the blue, and you can get plastic handled versions of this too. They were just out of stock at the time, so all I could get was blue. But you do get several options, and they're all about the same price, so between $1 and $1.50. So I think Rough Rider definitely hit a home run with this, and, you know, depending on your taste, some people just really do like the Victorinox, and I do too. This will not be replacing it on my keychain. The Victorinox is going to stay there, but I'll definitely be buying some more of these and giving them to people as gifts, because really, for $1.50 or even $1, you can't beat it. You know, people are going to appreciate it, and especially if they're not knife people, they're going to appreciate having something like this on their keychain. You know, just forget about it and use it when they need it. So, thank you for tuning in. I hope that this improved camera has really helped. And, yeah, like I said, thank you for watching. If I'm not informative, at least hopefully I'm entertaining. And if you have similar experiences with USB cables, I guess chime in the comments or make a video response or something. But this was Major Cord, signing off.